I'm Sherry, and today we're going to be making white wine gravy. Not only is this gravy dairy-free and 100% vegan, it's also gluten-free, oil-free, and fat-free too. So you can enjoy it guilt-free. Imagine tons of gravy on your mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. I love gravy so much. I'm so excited to show you this recipe. So you're going to need a few things. Obviously, white wine. Now to make this vegan, you want to make sure that you are using a wine that is vegan friendly. So this particular brand that I'm using, Cabot, is vegan friendly. It says it on the back. And if you're at the store, you can ask for help if you can't find vegan friendly wines. I'll also leave a link in the description below for a website that helps you find vegan friendly wines. So what you want to do is use a dry white wine like Pinot Grigio or Sauvignon Blanc, and that's the first thing you need. It's very important for this recipe. So you also need some vegetable broth, and I'm using low sodium, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can add some salt at the end if you need to. We are also using tamari that helps keep it gluten-free. If you don't need it to be gluten-free, you can substitute soy sauce if that's what you have on hand. You also need some chickpea flour, which keeps it gluten-free. And even if you're not gluten-free, I recommend still using the chickpea flour because it does add some flavor and nuttiness to this gravy. Since we're not using any oil at all, I highly recommend using chickpea flour. And then we're going to use a little bit of nutritional yeast, which adds an umami flavor. And our seasonings include garlic powder, onion powder, and mustard seed powder. All right, let's get started. Okay, so first you want to take your vegetable broth and measure out 2.5 cups. So we're gonna do that first. Okay. So you want to use your favorite vegetable broth. I really like this brand, but you can use any one you like. All right, so that is 2 cups, and then we just need a half. Right, so you just put that in there. And the great thing about this recipe is that everything goes in together, and you just whisk it together, and it just comes together so easily. All right, so that's the vegetable broth. All right, and so let's do the chickpea flour next. You need 4 tablespoons. Now that's equivalent to 1/4 cup, but I like to measure it in 4 tablespoons because I find that packing the tablespoons out actually is the perfect amount. But if you want to do a 1/4 cup, feel free. So you want 4 tablespoons of chickpea flour into it. Okay. So that's 4 tablespoons. All right, so that's done. Okay, and then we would like to do nutritional yeast next. This is going to be 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. 1 and 2. All right. And then the next thing we're going to add is the tamari. And that's going to be 3 tablespoons. So 1, 2, and 3, and this helps give it some saltiness. If you're using a reduced sodium or low sodium tamari or soy sauce, you might want to add more salt at the end. Okay, all right, and now the wine. All right, so you need 1/2 cup of wine. I also like these little bottles because I can use them for cooking. I like sauteing with the wine as well for veggies and to make pasta sauce. All right, so 1/2 cup of white wine. All right, and then our seasonings. So we have our garlic powder. We need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, and then we will like the onion powder next. Okay, I'm running low on onion powder. Note to self, buy onion powder. All right, just make sure I have enough. Perfect. All right, and then it is 1/4 teaspoon of the mustard. Okay. All right, now all you do is whisk it together, and then we're gonna put it on the stove and cook it. So we're just gonna whisk until everything is pretty well combined. Now if you have some clumps of flour, they will dissolve during cooking because you're gonna be whisking now and then. So don't worry about that, but you do just wanna try to get everything pretty well combined before you put it on the stove. Okay, so I think we are good and we are ready to cook our gravy. Place the gravy on the stove and bring to a boil, whisking occasionally. Once the gravy starts boiling, you want to lower it to maintain somewhere between a simmer and a low boil and cook for 15 to 20 minutes, whisking frequently until thickened. Once the gravy has thickened to your liking, you're going to whisk in some salt and pepper to taste. So just use a little bit of salt here. And if you used non-low sodium broth, you might not need any salt. I just need a little bit. And then some pepper to your liking. Whisk that in. Okay. All right, and then you're ready to enjoy this gravy over mashed potatoes or some meatless meatloaf or any other way you would like to enjoy gravy. This gravy is perfect for everyday meals to holiday feasts. Let me know your favorite way to enjoy it. See you next time.